Welcome home, Bitcoin truth seekers. It is February 21st. It is Tuesday. It is 10:45 a.m. here in the Arizona desert. Welcome home once again, Bitcoin truth seekers. Let's check out what the market is doing. It's a bit of a devastating day in the markets in general, but Bitcoin and crypto not quite doing so bad. Actually, as I started to record this, we're seeing a bit of a turn up. So let's check things out and see how they're doing. It's Tuesday. I'm glad you're here. Sorry I wasn't here yesterday. It was a better day in the market yesterday for sure. All right, BitcoinDailyView.com got more for you there. As always, get yourself a gas mask. You're going to need it, and one for all your families and friends. And while you're at it, buy me a coffee. All right, here you go. FinViz. As you can see, the market in general, there's no hesitation at all. This isn't like where it kind of did one thing, then did the other. No. Dow, NASDAQ, S&P 500, both got the friggin' hammer this morning. I mean, there's no other way to look at it. I mean, boom. I know we're just talking about, a slight percentage difference, but for these indexes, it's kind of a big deal. So Dow down 1.64%, NASDAQ down 2.05%, S&P 500 down 1.67%. Dang, that's a pretty good hammering for the morning. Looking at everything, it's just in general red. The only sectors that have any life in them at all are consumer defense and energy. Well, and healthcare. Consumer defense, though, is looking pretty good. I don't know why that's not surprising. Anyway, let's look at real quick while we're rocking here. Let's look at Zero Hedge just real quick. SEC charges Mormon Church for concealing $32 billion portfolio. Interesting enough. Nasha just hinted. I was wondering if there's any big stories that might okay. I don't see any big stories that would have actually, caused this market this morning. There's no like big headline here on Zero Hedge. So amen. All right. Anyway, looking at US dollar strength index, the DXY definitely has appeared to have broken above the 314 moving average, or I should say found support above the 314 moving average. Really does appear that it's broken out of that downwards channel. It's still young. We're still young in the game. I mean, we'll see what happens. Is it going to hold that or not? We shall see. But right now, definitely it's a green candle today. That's rather bullish. And basically, the market is just, you can see in the market, you can see the effect that has. Although I'm sure there's more to it than that. U.S. oil spot, red candle today. As you can see, it's been ranging sideways for a while. Red candle today. Probably heading down to the bottom of that channel unless anything changes. S&P 500. Oh my, well, that upwards channel is kind of a dream forgotten. We kind of tried to hold on to it yesterday, did not quite do it. That channel is pretty much done for. Upwards channel, that's an over story. In fact, I'm just going to cynically delete it because it's irrelevant now. Anyway, are we heading towards a 200 moving average bounce on the daily chart? Very, very well could be. That's around 3941. I could see that happening. We'll see as the day and days progress. Bitcoin today, red candle, but it's not looking too bad. It's kind of turning up and it's bouncing at a very legit spot. Gold, red day, silver, a green day. I dig what I'm seeing. It's now challenging the 314 moving average. I do like that. We'll see how it does. Bitcoin does appear to have definitely broken that 314 moving average. That's history. Now we're on to other things. Bullish, bullish, bullish. I love what I'm seeing there. All right. Looking at my little neat chart that I look at here, I'm definitely seeing a lot of chop in the longs and shorts today. People are trying way too hard to long and short. Been watching Rex happen, big buys, big sell. People just cannot seem to chill and let the market decide what it wants to do. A lot of tryhards out there trying hard to get liquidated. So definitely that's kind of one of the things. I did want to look at Coin 360 for fun real quick, and let's look at our cryptometer.io. I forgot to pull those up. Looking at the Bitcoin, well, I should say like the crypto universe in squares in general, except for USDC, USDT, and Dow. Most things are in the red today, although Filecoin and STX once again somewhat victorious. We are seeing some players in the deep green today. So, the markets in general have been somewhat on the downside. Bitcoin's been on the downside of sideways. Actually, we're starting to see a pickup in the action. Might be time to start watching some of those alts and Bitcoin also. So total volume 11 billion this morning. People are trying to do something, that's for sure. That's total volume for Bitcoin. Once again, Zero Hedge. No No headlines that are letting me know actually why this is happening, as far as the market is being kind of, bum hammered today. I don't exactly know why. Maybe we'll find out as the day progresses. In general, I've been watching the big exchanges. Let's just say like the top 20 here. In general, they were all in the red this morning. Now we're starting to see Kraken in the green, Bitfinex in the green, Gemini in the green. So we're starting to see some green action. That we're starting to see spot trading pairs pick up on the major exchanges. That's a good thing. Probably going to turn out to be a positive day. If you're just hitting the market right now, probably a positive day unless you're already shorting. Now maybe it's time to release those shorts. Not financial advice, just, we're starting to see a bit of a pickup here. So if you didn't do the short play early this morning and you're getting ready for the long play, you might be watching the right video. Okay. So looking at derivatives, longs and shorts with leverage, 51 billion, not a bad place to start after such volatility today. So good enough volume to be a good day. All right, so looking at Bitcoin, the top 100, Bitcoin is above 24,000. Do remember that, 24,438, not bad at all. Most of the top 100 here are in the red, except for WeMix. I have no idea what that is, but it's in the green today, up 10%. Stacks, STK, up 10%. Those guys are warriors. Singularity.net, AGIX. Gosh, I should just just buy a Bitcoin's worth of that and just forget the rest of the year, because that darn thing just keeps on moving up whenever it gets a chance. 1 inch, a very, very cool project, is up like 7%, and render, whatever that is, it's up like 3.7%. So we got some of the top 100 that are in the green. That is nice to see. All right, so maybe I'll check out, before we're out of here, we'll check out AGIX. I kind of like that coin. Now let's just keep moving. All right, looking at longs versus shorts, the percentage wise, basically what's the bias here? 56% long, 43% short for Bitcoin longs and shorts on Binance. Once again, 56% long, 43% short. Now for Ethereum on Binance, 58% long, 41% short. Definitely a long bias. And if you're looking at the charts right now, which we'll look at in just a second, it makes sense. Now, here's the deal. Big news of the day. All right. 45-minute chart for Bitcoin. Definitely, it's been going sideways. It's been having a lot of fun with those people trying too hard to long and short. It's been doing BART patterns and just wrecking their little fannies, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, but, sometimes it's just not good to try so hard. These are all, like, I look at this, this is all, I'm not mocking anybody, but this is all these BART patterns, even these little ears here. These are my opinions. When this little guy here, this little dip, these are all just, you're being played with. That's just basically, in my opinion, big money making liquidity for itself, I think, personally. My basically just true 100% high octane speculation, but I think it's the case. All right, so as you can see, Bitcoin has been beaten against this glass ceiling for a while. Right along here, 45-minute chart, boom, 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 like 4 hits on that thing. Got rejected down to the 200 moving average for 45-minute chart here, but look at that green candle starting. I think we might be starting to see some energy here. Squeeze indicator is done squeezing. That's why you don't see the white squares have completed there. We've got to see what's going to happen now, how far this is going to go. But the squeeze indicator does basically give you a great feel for what things are doing. And as most things do, they do this, and so most likely we're going to do this, So looking at that squeeze indicator, directional index is beginning to slack off a little bit. ADX has just stopped going sideways. Like, looking at all of this, looking at the volume, it's just about right. I think we're gonna bounce at this 45-minute 200 moving average and probably continue moving up. It would just make sense. Looking at the hourly chart, hourly chart, we never even hit the 4-hour, the 200 moving average on the daily. And daily chart, if we were to actually try to do a bit of a channel here in the daily, the hourly, you could kind of do like this. You could kind of do an upwards channel. You can kind of do like that and say we're kind of in an upwards channel right now. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4 hits on it. And do note this in the hourly chart, that's a higher high. I'm sorry, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. Although we don't quite have the higher highs. You could say that, like, this would have been a high. So this would have been your first lower high. But ever since then, it's pretty much been sideways, And if I was better at shapes, which I'm sinfully crappy at that, I gotta admit, but this is sort of like one of those, I'm not even gonna try to draw it. Just anyway, it's a shape. It's one of these things. You know, it's one of these things. Bonk. You know, what do they call it? Like an ascending wedge, I think it is, or whatever it's called. Sorry guys, I am just dreadfully bad at shapes and patterns. But I mean, basically, it's kind of obvious where this is probably going to go, given enough time. These usually break, in my opinion, to the upside. It's all about, I forget the terminology for it, but here's the deal. In general, when you get in this kind of a shape here, you can kind of look at, this is what people I see do quite a lot, is if you kind of just grab it like here and here, and you figure that's going to be like, there's your pole, then move it about, 3/4 of the way down, which is where we're kind of at. You can kind of look at that, and if we actually made a break, is that even possible? Let's just kind of see, could that actually happen? A forecast from the top, well, let's say from here where we're at right now, if we actually were to hit the top of that, that'd be like 14%. It's only 34,000. I mean, definitely very doable. Anyway, for what it's worth, we'll see what happens. Bitcoin right now is very volatile. What I can definitely say is what I'm kind of wanting to see here, and what I'm watching for, as far as like Bitcoin's, overall kind of health, is it's basically like just this right here. I want to see it continue making these gorgeous lower highs, which it's doing, but it's just kind of making sideways higher lows. It's making higher lows, and that's a nice thing. We're seeing that, and you could even kind of go way back here, and you could kind of say, like, here was a low, then here's a higher low, here's a higher low, kind of a higher low, and you can just roll it right out, and that makes sense. But we're not seeing higher highs, so if that starts to happen, that's rather exciting. So if we get a move, which we're getting this bounce off here on the hourly chart here, you can kind of see at the bottom of the channel, but not the 200 moving average. You can kind of see where if we were to get just a higher high, once you start getting around like 25,500, 25,600, definitely that's going to be pretty hot. Now, if I was wanted to be very, very ballsy right now, which I'm not, to be honest with you, but if I wanted to be kind of brave here, I would do this. And I'm thinking about it. Okay. Horizontal ray. I love that one. Here is a point of interest that there's a recent high. Okay. And you can see that this chart's definitely been playing the game. It's definitely been working with that, without a doubt. So you're probably going to see resistance when you get there. Are you going to get above it or not? I don't know. You really got to watch the indicators and see how they're backing things up. I mean, we have not really challenged the top of this thing with really, really strong indicators yet. So if we do get a beautiful turn up here on the squeeze indicator, that begins to turn up, directional index turns green, ADX is moving up, we get some volume spikes coming in here on the hourly chart, it's going to be rather exciting. And if that happens, then interesting. If we may break above that. But one of the things that I would consider doing, that I may do, is if I took a position right now and put this very moment, you could maybe get 2% if you were to hop in right now and then, put a take profit in up there. But, kind of risky. And really, where's your stop going to be? It'd be the 200 moving average way down here. And that's just not really very profitable, in my opinion. So with that said, or it's just too much risk. But the thing is, if we do actually, break this pattern, come down, make that resistance support and start moving up, that's going to be very exciting, especially with strong indicators. So let's nix all this stuff. Boom. And then how does a 4-hour chart look? Nice to go with the 4-hour chart. It's about the 200 moving average also. It's really hour and 4-hour charts with the 200 moving average. 45-minute chart for very immediate price action is kind of is making a bounce on it right now. 4-hour chart does show in general that we are kind of trailing off. But that definitely could turn around. We'll see what happens. You could always get something like happened previously, like here, where we kind of just get a bounce and start moving back up. So we'll see. I'm not seeing any great big volume coming in right now. If I started seeing a bunch of these here on the volume indicator, I think I would start to be a little bit more optimistic and figure we're going to see another move up. But still, we're in a good place. It's good enough. It's sideways. The thing is, when Bitcoin gets in this kind of sideways, the sideways energy, like this, ultimately, this is just my opinion. You can also look at this as, kind of a sideways energy also. The longer it stays above the 200 moving average on the 4-hour chart like this, and also on the hourly chart, the longer we stay above that 200 moving average, even if we're just going sideways, it really gets alts to start to really explode, and we're seeing some of that now. So definitely time to start watching the alts. All right, so looking at one right here, REN versus USDT, nonstop rocket ship to Pluto. Definitely been volatile with the Bitcoin being volatile, but still REN versus USDT. Powerful, getting sparky, indicators turning up. I'm not sure what to do with this one exactly yet. Today is just kind of volatile, so I'm uncertain. I might not even trade at all today, but really REN versus USDT looking kind of hopeful. Watch for this thing to continue turning up. Watch for that ADX right here on the 45-minute chart to get above it's at like 21 almost. When it starts hitting like 23, 25, and these guys, squeeze indicator really starts going off, and you can already see there are some volume coming in, but it needs to continue coming in. So let's just watch this one. Definitely REN. Is there a point of interest? Is there like a recent high? Yeah, here we go. I mean, there is a recent high you got to watch out for. Let's do a ray here. Oh, yeah, where's that cool ray? Horizontal ray. Probably about here. Bonk. Around a .10728. You're probably going to find maybe a little bit of resistance right there. But let's see what happens. You definitely, if you found confidence in this and it was looking good, move, crud. You know what? The thing is, you'd have to put your stop way down here, and that's just too much. It's just not enough. So I wouldn't take that trade. How about Vega versus USDT? That one's not looking too bad. Anyway, I'm not going to bother going through a lot of coins right now. With the recent volatility this morning, if you're in something, you're in something. If you're not, it's a little bit of a difficult moment to find good things to trade into. One thing that was mentioned over at Blockchain Education this morning, somebody shared this one here, NKN versus USDT. I like this one because it's on KuCoin and Binance. If we look here in the 45-minute chart, you can see that the squeeze indicator here is beginning to turn positive. I like seeing that. Not seeing too much volume, but a little bit. Directional index here is not really too happening yet, but I'm keeping an eye on it. So this one here definitely could make a move. I like what I'm seeing on the 45-minute chart. Look at the hourly chart. Definitely a nice bump. Then it retraced. If I was to actually do a Fibonacci sequence, you would probably see that bump right back down to the .5 or the 618. Yeah, in general, a little bit. It actually wicked down to the 786. It's kind of trying to get back above that 618 fib level. So, we'll see how this one does. But kind of an interesting chart, like what I'm seeing there. This one might set up for a continuation. Trade carefully. But it has pumped, given a lot back. It's going sideways. Watch this one for an upturn in the squeeze. Directional index and volume profile there. Definitely could see this guy start to do something. Let's see how's the 4-hour look. 4 hours above the 200 moving average. That actually looks like a really nice run. Actually, if we were to grab this fib sequence here on the 4-hour and do like that, now you're looking a little different. Let's see. Get rid of some of this noise here. Yeah, it kind of, the 618 definitely can't come into play before, and it wicked down to it. And he's get above that .5 and start moving up. Wow, look at these indicators. A lot of upwards movement there. I don't know. The squeeze might be trailing off a little bit now. But anyway, guys, I'm just chilling right now. I'm not really feeling confident in anything. So I'm going to wait till the day checks out a little bit more and we see more of a there's going to be alts that just come right to us. Have no doubt about that. Let me look at some BTC pairs real quick here. BTC pairs. Let's sort those by ones that are actually making some money. And there you go. We'll look at this one. AGIX versus BTC. I like what I'm seeing there. If I was to be really, really rebellious here and just do like a fib sequence right there, perfect 618 bounce. If you're playing AGIX, yeah, singularity.net, AGIX versus BTC. Indicator still a little weak, but we're seeing some volume come in. 4-hour chart, green directional index, 80, the squeeze indicator is beginning to kind of turn towards the positive. Right now it's retracing. It may want to touch that 618 again before it actually turns up. But AGIX versus BTC, at least one of interest today. I would say that at least something of interest to look at. Now let's look at AGIX versus USDT. How's that looking? I'm gonna look at that on KuCoin. It's on KuCoin and Binance. Pretty much the same exact chart, but some energons coming in there. Look at that on the 4-hour chart. Let's look at a 45-minute chart to see what's really going on here. The 45-minute chart, it kind of pumped above the 200 moving average today, but then it came back down. Now it looks like it might be finding support on that 314 moving average. Indicator is kind of crappy. Anyway, way too much volatility for me right now this morning on a lot of these things, but definitely AGIX on versus BTC or USDT, at least somewhat interesting. REN versus USDT, nice smooth chart for the most part. You do have this nice, I would consider it kind of an upwards channel. I'm going to be somewhat sloppy here and just go like that. You kind of got a bit of an upwards channel rolling. You can maybe pull it down here if you pull it down here if you want it possibly. You can maybe go with that. Definitely one way or the other, it's kind of peeking out top of the channel. There's no which way it wants to go quite yet. Definitely the squeeze is start turning positive. ADX, directional X is turning positive. Volume profile shows a little bit of energy starting to be there. So yeah, REN versus USDT, one to watch. I'm actually looking at that on KuCoin. It's on Binance too, of course. So this one probably needs to come back down, but if we were to be patient, let this guy come back down and then move back up, so maybe if you want us to do a where's my long position, if I was to fire up a long position, kind of try to catch it there, and I have my long, tight stuff. It's got to bounce off the bottom of this channel first. I'm not going to go all the way down to the 200 on the 45 here. I'm going to be like, you either make it or you don't. So pretty much I'm going to wait for it to bounce, or put a limit in with a buy-in with a limit right below it, basically to sell if it doesn't start moving up. But really, that's pretty much like 10 to 1. You can make 10% on that. I personally put my trailing take profit in about 5%, right about the middle of this channel here, and just let it ride. It's going to make it to the top, or it's not going to make it, or maybe it bounces at the middle. Anyway, one of my kind of famous 5% trailing take profits with like a 3% turnaround. Just see how it rolls, just see how it goes. Anyway, guys, that's what we're seeing here. It's a very volatile, difficult day in the market, the big market, but Bitcoin really is holding kind of steady, holding kind of sideways. Definitely dipped this morning, as you can see on the hourly, but it's coming back. And as we look at the 45-minute chart here, you can definitely see where we are getting that 200 moving average bounce. That's a very strong sign. I like it. We'll see how this goes. As long as we stay above that 45-minute 200 moving average and keep the sideways action, I think we're definitely going to see alts do well, especially if alts kind of stays sort of indecisive. If we roll into tomorrow the same way, and we have a more positive day in the traditional markets, it's going to be a great day for trading. All right, so with that said, there's a little bit of news now. I don't know if this is really him, but it says, did Biden fall down again when landing in Poland? In Poland, this dude took a serious hit. What I would say about this is, I don't know if that was him, probably not, but I'll tell you what, if that was President Biden, he took that dump, boom, you know what, and he still went and gave that speech over in Poland. He's a tougher old fart than I give him credit. All right, so Meghan Markle upset and overwhelmed, also stunning and brave. Meghan Markle upset, stunning and brave, and overwhelmed by South Park episode report. I don't really watch South Park, but you know what? And I definitely don't care about these ancient reptilian bloodlines of these royals. Like, who cares, right? But I got to see this South Park. I got to see it. That just sounds so wonderful. Breaking, a hazmat crew is being dispatched to the scene of a Union Pacific coal train derailment. So far, it does not appear that there's any actually liquid chemicals, that there's anything that's really a big deal, but a coal train, and those things are darn long, lots and lots of coal dumped in Gothenburg, Nebraska. I don't know if you guys are really familiar with Nebraska or not, but it is one great big farm, huge place, huge railroads to go across it, long trains. This is a mess, and it's right there by some kind of a refinery. Anyway, yuck, what a mess. What a mess. Around 12 train cars and if are off the track, and this is a third derailment, okay, in the same location in the past 6 months. Wow, last 6 months, this is a third derailment. What a mess, you know. Oh my gosh, what a pain in the butt. Anyway, guys, we'll see how it rolls. Gothenburg, Nebraska, I hope everybody's who's working to clean this up is making some serious overtime, because I mean, seriously, what a pain in the ass. Well, anyway, guys, uh I, what else can I really say? It's 11:11 a.m. It's a good time to end it. And what I would say is, look, for every Bitcoin Satoshi you own, you are part of the peaceful revolution, and you really are optimistic about the future of humanity. And you're not going to let this little midget basically keep all the vitriol rolling, and along with his cohorts in NATO and such like that, and basically blow up this planet. So, in my opinion, the best way you can stop this monster and the people like him are keep stacking sats and chill. Every Bitcoin Satoshi you own, you know, I want to believe. I really do. I want to believe, and I do. And I'm glad you're here for the peaceful revolution. Keep stacking those sats and chilling. I think the most peaceful act you can do, the way you can improve this planet, world peace, beautiful, everything, waking up excited, children having hope and a future, people not living paycheck to paycheck. I'm serious. Every Bitcoin Satoshi you own, I really truly believe is the best step any aspect of humanity can make. You're playing a huge part in a peaceful revolution and a better world. So keep stacking those sats and chilling. And remember, every Bitcoin Satoshi you own, channel it with me. You punch a globalist right in the nuts. Take care.